Creep Night, sure to send a chill down your spine. Welcome to Creep Night. In America, there's a crisis going on in today's society where a cat has been overfed and now weighs 214,500 tons. Now, he can't stop eating everything he gets his furry little paws on and terrorizes the city he lives in. In Tucson, Arizona, the people in this town are running and screaming as they try to get away from the fattest and biggest cat in the world. At 50 feet tall, this orange hair waves over the townspeople with his huge rolls of fat hanging off his body. Meow! Catzilla, whose name is Kazoo, begins to pounce around and lands on a Dodge Ram. The Dodge Ram could not stand up against the 214,000-ton cat, and it smashes right under the cat's feet. Kazoo looks at a screaming lady who is trying to run away from the enormous cat. As she tries to run away, Kazoo swipes his huge orange paw at her and grips her up to his face. At first, he smells her with his mouth hung gaped open. He then pushes his paw to his mouth as the lady screams and eats the lady. Meow! Kazoo roars as he roams the area looking for other people to stuff his feline face with. He swats at an old oak tree and sends it flying 100 feet into the air. The tree slams onto the ground next to a skyscraper, and the skyscraper rattles but stands firm on the ground. All of the windows, however, burst on impact. Kazoo begins to chase another car that was whipping by in the opposite direction. As soon as the person in the car sees the huge cat chasing them, they begin to floor it. And as they do that, they lose focus on where the car is going. They crash the car. Kazoo slams on his paws as he comes to a halt in front of the crashed, flipped-over car. The person in the car lies inside on the roof. The person can see the giant orange cat's fat, furry paws walking toward the car. The person laying on the roof of the car begins to hold his breath as Kazoo comes closer. Kazoo begins to smell the car because he knows there's someone in there. Kazoo paws at the car almost as if he were pawing at a mouse lying on the ground. The man in the car tries to hold on, but with the rapid movement and his car spinning out of control, he goes flying out of the car. The man tries to get up and run, but Kazoo's giant paw curls around him and lifts him off the ground. The giant cat stuffs his face with his paw and eats the man. Kazoo lays down on an open road and begins to take a nap. After all the running and smashing, he begins to nod off. While he is sleeping, his breath blows back and forth. The people who have survived the first attack begin to run and hide while the cat sleeps. An hour later, Kazoo stretches as he wakes. His stomach rumbles and the sound of it echoes through the town. The shock wave of the sound created a huge earthquake. Kazoo swats away a few cars lying on its sides from his walking path as he hunts for more people to eat. Meow! A group of people who had been hiding between two buildings in a tight alleyway peered out to see where the cat was. And as soon as they did, a giant paw swiped over them, pulling them out into the opening. Kazoo wasted no time gobbling them up. Nighttime was the worst for all the townspeople because Kazoo became extremely hyperactive. Kazoo ran back and forth, knocking buildings down and eating anyone who dared to be spotted by him. There was nothing any of the town people could do to get rid of him or destroy him. The townspeople decided they would have to live underground until the cat would starve out and leave. Most of the people made it into the sewers, but the ones who didn't, their screams can still be heard. To this day, Catzilla lies in wait for the rest of the mice who made it into the sewers to come to him. Big cats can be very scary indeed if you are a mouse. Thank you for listening to Creep Night.